Oh, I got some good stories for you today. I love these. I love these days when I love all the stories. It's not always the case, but I got, well, two really good stories sandwiching a not so good political swampy kind of story in the middle. Now, you know what? Strike that, reverse it. I think they're three good stories because the political story, which is about Senator Mark Kelly, you're going to realize is actually a great story in disguise because the Seditious Six, remember those? They put together that video telling troops to ignore orders. Yeah, listen, it's not going well for them at all. There's a reason why Senator Mark Kelly is on TV every single day since that thing came out. Anyway, we'll get to that as well as this. Christmas is back. And you're thinking, it never went away, dumbass. Well, hold on a second now. Culturally, there was a big effort not too long ago to make it Happy Holidays and not Merry Christmas. Remember? It's officially back. Probably forever, and you probably noticed that too. And the greatest story of all today involves, and I'm going to try to work in a lot more of these feel-good stories throughout the holidays because we are officially in the holiday season. There is a story, and good for CBS News to cover this one. They got it on CBS Sunday morning throughout the Thanksgiving holiday, about Metallica and their scholarship foundation. And now they put $10 million into this thing, and now it's starting to pay off in what they're calling Metallica Scholars. For trade schools, people that work with their hands, scholarships. It's fantastic. It's a great story. We'll talk about that as well, but let's get right to it. All platforms, wherever you are right now, live or later, whatever it is, we do the live stream every single Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. on X and YouTube and Facebook, but also the replay on all those platforms and the audio podcast, wherever you like to get those too. So thanks for being here. Let's get right to it. Christmas is back at the White House, but also in America. Why do I say that? I wish sometimes we could go back in time and you look at it culturally. A lot of things culturally you see manifest themselves in retail, right? You see exactly where things show up and what they're trying to sell us and different things. Let's not forget how strong the push was to make Christmas Happy Holidays. Let's not forget. It's not the biggest thing in the world at first, but it was a definite effort. This we know now, to take Christmas out of Christmas. We know this. Now, we also know this in the first Trump administration. You remember Trump getting up there saying, it's Merry Christmas again. We say Merry Christmas in America. That's where it started. That was where the seed got planted, and then it grew from there. Took some time, took a little bit of a hit in the previous administration, and now it's back. And I'm not trying to tell you that whoever the president is or whoever's in the White House is the guy that determines everything happening culturally. But it's sure important. And I bet you this, now you hear more people saying Merry Christmas than ever before. If there was actually a way to count this, I would bet you in your own personal life you hear more people saying Merry Christmas. I bet you. Take some time to get back and to claw back what we have in a culture, but it's coming back. And you also see this in retail, just as a little experiment. Just, walking around doing your Christmas shopping, whatever it is. When you go to Target, Walmart, Macy's, anything, look how much, I just saw it yesterday, I was at a Macy's locally. Look how often you see Merry Christmas everywhere. And not too long ago, everything was Happy Holidays or The Season. Is a massive difference there. Big part of that trickling down from the White House. Just so happens that the White House, engineered by First Lady Melania Trump, announced their Christmas theme just yesterday. And it is, I think the theme actually is Home for the Holidays. Anyway, they're putting a massive effort into this one, and it is a patriotic theme this year. Here's the story. Fox News did a good wrap up on this and exactly how much they put into it.
The East Room is decorated patriotically to celebrate the upcoming 250th anniversary of the birth of the nation, while the Red Room's focus is fostering the future, and the Green Room celebrates family fun. In all, the First Lady decking the halls with over 25,000 feet of ribbon, more than 2,000 strands of lights, 120 pounds of gingerbread, and over 700 feet of garland, all to go along with 51 Christmas trees and 75 wreaths. That's a lot of numbers, but basically we can say huge effort, and you get a little bit of a glimpse here thanks to the First Lady.
I can't wait for the stories today that'll come out because they're going to be there. They always go back to this. Taxpayer money wasted on Melania Trump's ego-driven Christmas. You wait. You know what's going to happen. Of course they are. Do you remember in the first administration? I think it was the first, might have been the second, Christmas celebration at the White House that she was in charge of in the first administration, and she had the red Christmas trees. They actually had, these were real headlines. Wall Street Journal, I think. I know that the New York Times had it. Melania's red Christmas trees of death. We should have known then what the attack was going to be. Anyway, that's what it is. I think it's important. I think it's important to set the stage, and I think it's important to set this, and it does matter in bringing back a Christmas theme for what dominates the holiday season. It's Christmas, not happy holidays, not the season. It's Christmas. If you have a problem with Christmas, maybe you just lay low for 30 days. Is that so tough instead of trying to change everybody's mind about the thing? And here's another thing. There weren't a lot of complaints about the Christmas celebration. Now, you go to that with the patriotic theme and the gingerbread things, and yes, there was a picture of Trump there looking all serious, of course, by a Christmas tree. That's probably for a couple of laughs. Let's not forget what the previous administration had there, too. Do you remember their video? Do you remember the Nutcracker woke dancers dancing around to the theme? Remember that one? Yeah, I do. Right. Theme matters. It matters. And Christmas is back. Take it as good news, because personally, I love it. This is good news, too. When I put this together, I didn't think it was going to be good news, but it actually is. It's one of those sneaky stories that doesn't seem good because he's on TV again, and yet he claims he's silenced. Mark Kelly has apparently, out of all of the seditious six that made the video telling troops to disobey orders, he's become the face of it. And he's been on television every single day since that video was released. It seems like bad news. Oh, he's there again. Oh, he's there again. He's getting all kinds of media attention again. No. This is why it's good news. There's a reason why he has to turn to his media friends and now hold a separate press conference, inviting reporters in at the Capitol to explain what they're doing. It's because it's going very, very badly for them, and especially him now, because a lot on him is getting exposed. But there he was, talking, had a prepared speech, long-winded speech, and taking questions from reporters yesterday. First and foremost, this is how ridiculous it got. These are some of the themes he talked about yesterday. Trump and Pete Hegseth, the Pentagon, they're trying to silence Mark Kelly. Silence? This guy's been on television for 8 straight days. And now, well, we'll get to it here, but he also says they're threatening him directly.
It's a dangerous moment for the United States of America when the president and his loyalists use every lever of power to silence United States senators for speaking up.
Silence? Outside of a president, have you ever seen a politician in your news feed, on television, in online publications, get so much coverage in your life? Silenced? No, that's exact opposite of silence. So again, it's a deflection. It's what they do. And then, in a long-winded kind of way, this is the most important part. This is the important part. It's long, but he admits right here that what they tried to say is that Trump has ordered the troops, has ordered federal employees even, unconstitutional orders. This is admitting nothing of the sort happened.
Sort of flimsy legality that was being offered during the briefings. Were these sort of strikes that are now in the news what you were making reference to when you posted that video telling members of the military that they needed to feel okay just obeying orders that they felt were illegal?
Based on who this president is and who the Secretary of Defense is, and specifically things that the president has said in the past and things he was talking about doing in the future. Let me give you an example. 2016.
So there were no unconstitutional orders, but this is just who he is. Things he's said in the past, things he's intimated, things he's hinted at. See where I'm going here? They know he's admitted it, but is still trying to deflect. They know, you can tell by the reporter's line of questioning, Trump has never given out unconstitutional orders to anybody in the military or any federal employee or anybody else. None of it. And they know that, and he's caught red-handed on it. But it got worse somehow for this guy. Because now, you know the old television, going back to Happy Days, they jumped the shark. It's gone too far. You've tried too much, and nobody buys it anymore, and you've lost credibility. This is this guy jumping the shark.
President Trump is trying to silence me, threatening to kill me for saying what is true. And he sent his Secretary of Defense after me. And it's not going to work.
Okay. let's just tear this apart. If Trump had, let's say that Trump sent Mark Kelly, well, he doesn't text. He doesn't want that in digital form. If he had said to him personally, let's just pretend this scenario in this guy's overactive imagination. If the president ever sat down with Mark Kelly and said, look, you bald garden gnome, if you ever put out a video like that again, I will kill you myself. I'll strangle you myself. Can you? Of course he would run off with that directly. Of course he would. There's no... Trump is not threatening to kill anybody. Pete Hegseth is not threatening to kill anybody. There's nobody in that room or nobody that saw that press conference that believes that. This is truly a desperate person who got completely exposed, who has gone overboard. Now, again, it seems like one of those stories where it's like, oh, my God, he's getting more airtime. Oh, my God, he's holding press conferences now. They're going to do another seditious video. They're going to do... No. You have to see, this is why I try to get you guys to see through the news and what it actually means. It's never face value. You got to look beyond the headline and look at what's actually happening. The reason why that guy, Senator Mark Kelly, had a press conference is because he has to. He has to do damage control. He's been on television in one form or another, either in interviews, videos, press conferences, or direct messaging to the country every single day because it fell flat on its face and it's not going well for them. But I'll take it a step further. This may be the real reason why. Now, I want to set this up by saying none of this is proven yet. This is something that something independent investigative reporters are looking into right now. It's not proven. But wouldn't this make sense? Wouldn't this all tie in to exactly what we're seeing here and why this guy organized this, because now we know it's him, to put this together with the Seditious Six to stop what's being exposed? Do you remember, not too long, was it a couple of years ago? Do you remember the Chinese spy balloons? Remember that story? Fascinating. It was unbelievable. Actual, proven, Chinese spy balloons flying across the country. Okay, we know that happened. We know where they were from. China admitted it. When Trump got back in the White House, he got Xi Jinping to admit it. That was one of the first things. Mark Kelly has a balloon company. He's an astronaut, right? He's an Air Force guy. He was a pilot. Kind of makes sense. He'd been aeronautics. That makes sense. We know this. He took CCP-linked investment for his stratospheric balloon company, buried it in a blind trust before entering the Senate. Interesting. You might have heard of Mark Kelly's, again, these are all stories that are being worked on now. I don't think anything's been proven yet. These are what independent investigators are looking into now, including some from mainstream networks. Also, his brother is being investigated now for taking Ukraine propaganda ties and seditious money from Ukraine and involved in the negotiations in that war. His brother. If you took either of those two situations and you looked into what potentially could become exposed in this, if they turn out to be true, doesn't it make sense now that he would be front and center in trying to take down the president and trying to create all this chaos? Sure does to me. But I don't know. We'll see if that's all proven. Those are just stories that people are working on. But what we know right now is, take it on, look at what they're presenting every single day. It's not going well. And there's another reason why he was all alone in that press conference. Maggie Goodlander, Melissa Slotkin, the other one, Jason Crow, who's the other Seditious Six member who was there. They weren't there at the press conference. It was Mark Kelly, because he looks the dirtiest in this. He looks the most desperate, and it looks like he's the organizer. Could it be possible that all of his 5 other cohorts in this didn't want to support him on it? Could be. But again, take it as good news that this guy won't stop talking. And every time it does, it gets worse and worse and worse. You can't come up with something dirtier than getting a group of former military and CIA to do a video to encourage troops to disobey orders. But here's the great news. Doesn't look like anybody's following them. So, good. I can't wait. Now I'm at the point where I want the guy to talk. Keep on doing it. Hold another press conference, Mark. That'd be fantastic. Because every time you do, you'll talk about more ridiculous things like, Trump's trying to kill me. They're trying to silence me. Even though right now I'm holding a press conference. Good. Let it happen. All right, here's your feel-good story of the day. I want to try to find more and more of these. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to find anything as awesome as this. We all know Metallica, right? Legendary band. They've sold tens of millions of albums. They've been performing now they're into their 40th year. Everybody knows Metallica. May not know this, and I gotta give, even though I criticize the media all the time, I have to give CBS and the CBS Sunday Morning Show credit for finding this story. This is what they're good at. Things like this, feel-good stories. This is what they should focus on. Well, they had one that happened over the Thanksgiving holiday that featured on what Metallica is doing with their charitable efforts, and it's fantastic. They've had this charitable organization for years now. They put $10 million into it, but it kind of morphed and it changed it to something else right around COVID time, where they started to realize, you know what? The people, you'll hear this in the video here in a piece of the presentation, the people that are keeping the country going are trades workers, tradesmen, tradespeople, women too, truck drivers, plumbers, electricians, people that work with their hands. They kept the country going. They realized that, and they said, maybe we can start to funnel some funds into that. They start off with a girl in, I think it's Maryland, who was one of these Metallica scholars to get her truck driver's license, commercial truck driver's license. She didn't even know it was a Metallica foundation at first, but then she realized there's a little bit of her, but then the story, and CBS did a great job on this, gets into it, and they talk about exactly what they're doing. This is one of the best stories I've seen all year.
I didn't know when I first signed up that it was through Metallica. They just called it a scholarship.
A Metallica scholarship, to be precise. Part of the over $10 million, that's right, $10 million, the band's charity, All Within My Hands, has donated to workforce education, mostly in the form of grants through trade schools and community colleges.
Not everyone is built for college, and not everyone needs college.
Metallica lead singer James Hetfield should know. He himself is the son of a truck driver, something he hasn't forgotten.
It was very evident during COVID, when we weren't able to go out and do our thing. Entertainment, service went, but the plumber, the electrician, the truck driver, the people that needed to help keep America running were there. And thank God for them. My thought is that the next millionaires will be the tradesmen.
How awesome is that? And he's right, too. As we look back, and it changed so much, didn't it? When we all survived COVID and you looked at who actually did well, you look at actually who, as he said there, kept the country running. Tradesmen, and I mean women in that, too. Truck drivers, thank God. Delivery people, thank God. Electricians, plumbers. That's who kept the country going. So good for them for morphing things, their charitable effort. And you want to look it up a little bit. It's called All Within My Hands. Great job. Fantastic for those guys in Metallica to do that. And you know what? Again, good for CBS and the CBS Sunday Morning Show for featuring them. That's what they should be doing. Good for Metallica. Oh, and they can't play the Super Bowl, huh? Okay. Don't get me started on that one. That's a different story. The big takeaway, look beyond the headline, guys. You're upset and you see this seditious Mark Kelly as a senator on TV and your news feed on your phone every single day. It's good. It's a good thing that you see him every day, because the more they're explaining, the more they're losing. That's a good thing. That's the biggest takeaway. All right, and remember, Christmas is back. Have a wicked awesome Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you as always. All platforms on a replay and all that stuff, and also audio podcast too. Have a wicked awesome Tuesday. Talk to you tomorrow.